So I wasn't sure whether to even make this an emergency. I wasn't sure. But the reason why we're here is because this is a larger discussion. So more so than an emergency, this is a Southgate apology. And this is a stark warning to England and the football moving forward, as well as this is a cookout session for one Philip Foden. These are the realities that we've got to talk about here. Because the same things are being said over and over again. It's the manager's fault. It's the manager's fault. It's the manager's fault. Foden has to play. We have to unlock Foden. It's the manager's fault. We have to unlock Foden. It's the manager's fault. And I said this before, and I got cooked. Bro, I had arguments with guys on Twitter. I said, the best manager for this England team is Southgate. Southgate is the best manager for this England team. And I think someone said that, oh, no. There's no reason to do this. Carsley, he's experimenting. Do you realize that Carsley is auditioning for the England job? This is his audition. So, and don't get me, he wants that England job because I think he is coming from the under 21. So he's taking the similar path that De La Fuente took for Spain. So of course he wants this job. So why would he want to make himself look bad and start experimenting, which could therefore cost him the chance of actually being the full-time manager? Because 100% he's still the interim. And if he does well enough and the team looks good enough, they'll be like, okay, you know what? Let's continue this whole through line and let's make him say what's up. So if the team is looking like this, then Carsley, you're not going to get the freaking job. So why the hell would you want to experiment and jeopardize the chance of him getting the full-time job? The issue here is this. Because I saw a tweet. And the tweet showed the lineup. And it was very attacking. You didn't have a striker. We'll get to not having a striker, but it was very attacking. And the tweet said that Southgate would never. Look at how attacking the whole lineup is. And I was like, oh, interesting. Because what I try to explain to people is, all of you numbskulls and morons saying that, look at all of the amazing talent that England have, they should be attacking. If England attack, they will get destroyed. Now, I didn't think that they'd get beaten by Hercules. Because, bro, if this was a better team than Hercules with better players, this could have been 4 or 5. But this England team, with the defenders they have, if they went all out attack and re-attacked and were not pragmatic under Southgate, you're going to get beat. England's best chance of winning a trophy was under Southgate. The reason why they didn't win wasn't because of Southgate, was because the players messed up. 3 guys missed penalties. Kane has dropped 2 disaster classes in 2 finals, and Foden puts up an epic disaster class at the Euros. So my thing, and what I want to try to get to, is when will we finally say these players have to take responsibility for their actions and admit that these guys are washed, and these players are simply not as good as we think they are? AK, talk to me.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Just off topic. Brazil are currently in the playoff position for the CONMEBOL World Cup because Bolivia moved stadiums, and the stadiums are even higher altitude than the one before.
Oh Lord!
So they're literally altituding their way to the World Cup. Shout out to them. But yeah, man. They were telling me Carsley ball, England is back. Winston Churchill has reincarnated.
Oh, no, they were celebrating that Southgate, that
Yeah,
losers don't like, because people were said like attacking fullback, Palmer, Foden, Bellingham, boom, let's go, man. Because the assumption, of course, you're going to beat Zeus. It's only freaking Hercules. Come on, bro. Like it
yeah,
seemed with
yeah,
Palmer, Foden, and Bellingham, you should destroy Hercules, but
yeah. I think for England, I disagree with you in the fact that Southgate was a good coach. No, he wasn't. But
but was he not the right manager for this team, or do you think that? So you believe that England can do better than Southgate?
yeah, they can do. I think they could have done better than Southgate, but I don't think this Lee Carsley guy, has warranted the hype that people have been giving him. Because for me, he's just the opposite of Southgate. When Southgate, there was all defense, no attacking movement. Here, it's all attack, no defensive stability.
Mm.
Like I understand that your strikers aren't possibly the best apart from Harry Kane. You have Ollie Watkins and Dominic Solanke, are good players,
Yeah.
but I understand you wanted to experiment. But at the end of the day, like this wasn't the best option, and for England, it's better to know that before a tournament, like something like the Nations League, than during an actual tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk on some players,
Oh
especially
yeah, yeah. Philip, we're saving Philip. We're going to say Philip. We're going to
in
say
skin
Philip.
complexion, but yeah, it wasn't good. Also, for Greece, well, yeah, R.I.P. Rest in peace,
Oh yeah,
George
yeah,
Baldock.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bulldog, yeah,
Well,
Bulldog, yeah.
well, like I was like surprised by the news because, well, I remember watching him play at Sheffield United. I was like, is that the same guy? Like, wow. But shout out to Greece, man. They did what they needed to do, and England, man, from Southgate to Carsley, from Capello to Sven,
So,
it's
actually,
always the
let me
same
ask you
thing.
okay, so should England choose an English manager or just the best possible manager?
I'll be real, bro. I personally thought like the Lee Carsley appointment wasn't like I thought it was a good shout because if you look at like a team like Spain, they went to a manager who had coached from the under 21s, from the youth teams to the senior team. Now I don't know how good this might translate to the senior team, but from what I saw, Lee Carsley did very well with the youth teams for England.
Mm.
So I thought it was actually a good decision to get him. But if they don't get him, it'll probably be Graham Potter, I take, or maybe even like a Potts should have been the guy, but he went to America.
Mm.
Like apart from that, I don't really see who else.
Wait, can I speak on this quickly?
Yeah, couldn't go for it. Can you go for it? Go for it.
Yeah, on the game, like for me, and I said it even on under the tweet. I'm like, these guys blaming everything on just one person every time with England. Like, I honestly, I don't understand. I don't understand when the fans will. I don't know when the fan will understand because every time you sacked Sven, you sacked Capello,
Capello.
you sacked,
and also remember, you have to keep in mind, Sven was one of the. I believe he won the UEFA Cup with Lazio. So basically, Sven was the best manager in the world at the time. Capello was the best manager in the world at the time. So when they were both hired, they were considered the best in the world at the time.
You go on that route. You go on the Roy Hodgson route. Like, and yeah, you can say these managers are not the best, but every time you keep moving the goalpost, not blaming players. Honestly, at the end, I think that until they see Pep at the head of England national team, and when Pep fails, I think then they might be like, cool, maybe we'll just do it.
Baby, that's a baby. But no, Kenya, you can say Pep what he wants. Pep is not stupid. Pep will never take this job. Because he's never taken this job. Because Pep knows that, bro, a lot of these players can't play the kind of ball that I want, bro. Because Kenny, what the hell is Pep supposed to do with Rice? What's he supposed to do with Rice? Come on.
And for me, the thing is that obviously the Lakers, like, I get you're experimenting, but I'm like, my guy, you're interim manager. You're not even full-time manager yet. Why are you trying to experiment?
That's what I don't get. Because Kenny, let's be real. Because people said like under my video that no. Why is it why the hell would you experiment if you wanted the job? Because guys, let's be real. Of course you want the freaking job. Because this is your audition. Because the idea is that now England are thinking of hiring a full-time interim, but if the interim does exceptionally well, they're like, wait a minute, Well, you're doing well and everything. Why should we now bring in someone that's going to now change a good thing? So if you do really well, get good results, the team is playing well, you're hired. So why would you want to experiment to jeopardize that?
Yeah, and I think that's the first time they lost like a competitive game at Wembley or for how many, I don't know how many years. The experimenting for me is like, people say experimenting because, especially the people online, oh, you put all the best players. So you guys there, that the people that, when I'm seeing England fans making teams and they put all these players together, can you see now? Do you understand now? That's not how football works. There's something called balance here, and putting all the best players every time putting the best players on the pitch just because you have these great players doesn't mean that you're going to create chance or you're going to play well. Everything I keep seeing on the timeline, oh, you have Palmer, Saka, Foden, all these guys, and you only had 2 shots on target. I'm like, sometimes people, I'm like, this is not like FIFA. Like, you need a certain amount of balance, and you need to make choices. Foden, Palmer's, all these, they can't play in the same team. You need to make a decision, my guy.
Yeah, no, that's the key thing. But is there a manager? Because obviously we'll get to Foden in the next topic. But is someone brave enough to make a call? Because a call has to be made. Because it's all about chemistry, and simply these guys can play together. Because Kenny, do you know what it's like? Lampard and Gerrard, they couldn't play together. You had to choose. You had to have either a Carrick or Scholes. But because of the Lampard and Gerrard pair, which was stronger than Scholes and Carrick, they were forced into the team. And because Gerrard and Lampard couldn't play with each other, it's unbalanced the midfield.
Yeah, and for me, even if you say experiment, like the guy made subs. His first sub, I think, what was his first sub? He brought on Saka. Like, for me, his subs were way too late. He brought on Saka for Madueke, which was a like. And afterwards, he just threw on his 2 strikers. For me, even his subs are cool.
Right, he took off Gordon and the 3 number 10s were on the pitch.
Time. He had time to put on subs to rectify his mistakes. And he still at some point, you need to make that damn decision. Even if people might say, if it's Foden, if you want to choose Foden and die with Foden, at least today you put him in his best position, like, oh, he doesn't play him at 10. If you want to keep playing Foden, keep playing Foden. But at least now, I don't want to see any excuses. If it's Palmer that you want to choose Palmer. If it's Bellingham, but choose one player. Stop all this dilly-dallying. They need to choose that guy. Who do you want to build your team around? Because all this, I'm tired of this, trying to put all your best players. Like, it's not going to work. Choose
but I think do you know what it is? Because the feeling is they're so good, they'll figure it out. And they keep thinking on the head, oh my gosh, if we've got Foden, Palmer, and Jude on the same pitch, of course they're good enough to through their talents, they'll beat Hercules. That's just the assumption that they're so good, their quality will just see them beat these guys.
Greece had 5 disallowed goals. This could have been worse. Like, honestly, first, every time the midfield was non-existent. Obviously, Rice was. People are going to blame Rice, but I'm not even going to blame the guy. The guy was by himself in that midfield. Like, there was the team was so the team was so open, so easy to bypass. I'm like, as a manager, you have to see that stuff it's not working. And the thing is that I don't understand is that his first 2 games, when these guys were not there, he played the normal double pivot. He played a Grealish at the 10, and then he worked fine. People were hyping him up. Now those players came back, the Fodens that were not there, the Palmers, the Bellinghams, you change again. You had something good going on. Why did you switch? And that's the thing is that these coaches, they don't have the balls to make serious decisions. Every time they get swayed by popular opinions, oh, you have all these best players, you have the Foden, the Bellinghams, you have to find a way to play them. No, stick by. You had something good going on the first international break. Why did you change it? I don't understand it. And for me, like, you don't even need to be the best coach. You just need a coach that is decisive. Cool. I need this guy. I need my balance. If Foden doesn't want to come, or if Bellingham or if Palmer doesn't start, he is what he is. One of them has to play. You have to be on the bench. Like, just make the damn decision. Yeah. I'm tired of these guys trying to fool. Like, every time trying to you're just making a mess of it. And it's a decent team, but you're just making a mess.
Okay, what's it? My name is. What are you saying?
Nah, I don't know why everyone's surprised that England lost.
Come on. To Greece?
They played a team with 3 number 10s and 2 inverted fullbacks. of course you're going to lose.
No, come on. No, come on. Of course you're going to lose to Greece. Yeah, of course you're going to lose to Netherlands something. Greece and you're at home?
Any football team that plays 3 number 10s with 2 inverted fullbacks is going to lose. I don't care whether that's Dino, Rivaldo, Kaká, R9 on the pitch. Balance is balance. You need players in rightful positions. Like I thought we moved past this. I thought we moved past the whole we can't play Kane, Bellingham, and Foden all together in one team because they all take up the same spaces. Okay, so now you want to play Palmer, Bellingham, and Foden in the same team to take up the same spaces. And Harry Kane's not back yet. And you know he's starting. So we're going to have 4 players operating in the number 10 position when he gets back from injury,
Wait, so England will be the first to have 4 10s?
4 number 10s, 4 number 10s. Like, this is just England. And the thing is that, okay, the manager, he's some random guy from the middle of nowhere, like some.
Oh, wait, but didn't he come from the under-21s? And didn't he win an under-21 tournament?
Cool, but he's some PE teacher from the middle of Norwich. No one's rating this guy serious. So when Palmer, Foden, Bellingham show up to that front doorstep, he's in shock. He's like, "Oh my God, it's these great players who the English fans have gassed up. I can't drop any of these guys. You know, they're much better than me. Who am I to tell Jude Bellingham after winning La Liga and Champions League to sit on the bench?"
No, but when does it come down to players step up?
No,
because I know that sometimes the formation is something, but there is a time when the ball is going to come to you. Do something if you're that good, or maybe maybe you're not that good, and you're very reliant on those players around you at your club.
This leads into my next point. I don't even blame him for that. I blame the media. This has been going on for so many years. Gerrard, Lampard. Oh, look, Gerrard would lose the ball every 5 seconds trying to shoot from 40 yards. Lampard crashing into the box. You've got to play all these midfielders in the same team. No, Michael Carrick, an actual DM who used to pass the ball and keep it, was sitting right at home trying to be used, and you just wasted him.
Because now we're getting to the crux of the matter and the crux and the theme of this hangout, which is the issue is a lot bigger than England wants to admit. It's about your psychology and your approach to football and how you view football. Because if you view football properly, your midfield is built around a Carrick or Scholes. Gerrard and Lampard can't control anything. You cannot build your team around Lampard and Gerrard. You can't.
People will try add revisionism. I'm old enough to remember Gerrard. Gerrard used to get the ball, and every time he passed it, he used to fizz it into his teammates at 60 miles per hour trying to control it. He used to shoot from 40 yards, but Liverpool fans used to clap him like, "Oh my days, yes, Gerrard, that's incredible." And Lampard would do 0 defensive work and literally just crash into the box late. He'd make the occasional silky pass, but he was literally just run into the box, score, penalties, anything around the box he's there to clean up. These two in the central midfield of a 4-4-2, you're not controlling shit. Especially up against Germany's, who had proper midfielders like Schweinsteiger and Mesut Ozil. You know, yeah, exactly. Blood and thunder football. Why are you going to win with this shit? But this is my point. Like, England have this weird thing of all my best players. We have to put them into the team and make them thrive all at the same time. I'm like, hold on. If you win the tournament, does it matter who sits on the bench? Like, if England by
No. Here's the thing. It does. What you have learned about England, living in England, is, yeah, of course we want to win. No, but we want to win a particular way. Which is why, I told you, the worst thing that happened for this England team was Foden winning Premier League Best Player of the Year, because the Premier League, that is a marketing agenda. You can't, so basically, because we're going to get to Foden, that is the big issue, because you cannot bench the Premier League's golden boy, because that's England's golden boy. England's face is Kane, England's golden boy is Foden, so you can't bench him. So now, as a manager, you're now screwed.
Yeah, no, 100%. You're right in that. And the problem is that in reality, if Bellingham does hold bench and you win a World Cup, who actually cares? If Palmer sits on the bench, or if Saka, or if Foden, or if any of these guys sit on the bench, if you win, it doesn't matter. Benzema won a Ballon d'Or and sat at home, but France made the World Cup final and lost on penalties. So it doesn't ultimately matter who starts or who gets benched or who's playing, as long as you get the result of the win at the end. Yeah. The problem with England is that England are the only nation that will criticize a manager for not playing every superstar possible. Bro, France have superstars in abundance, like much bigger star players than England ever could. Bro, Benzema, Ballon d'Or, 17 goals in a Champions League season. Benzema couldn't get a sniff at France, but France won a World Cup and they let Deschamps cook. They let him do his thing. Obviously, they'll judge it in the beginning, but they're not going to go around and just say, oh no, we need Benzema to play with Mbappe and all this. Because the one time Benzema did play in a tournament, yeah, Benzema scored goals because he's a great player, but they got dunked on by Jan Sommer and Granit Xhaka in the Euros. HH didn't even do a stream that day. That's how bad it was. HH didn't even do a stream on that day. Like, that's how bad it was. Like, we're literally just wasting our time trying to shoehorn in 3 number 10s with inverted fullbacks.
Wait, how is Bellingham and Foden the front two and Cole Palmer and Rice are in the midfield? Like, what?
HH, this is my point. I'm looking at the England game and I'm thinking, Conor Gallagher would actually be beneficial. I never thought I'd say these words. England needed Conor Gallagher because Conor Gallagher's not some incredible player. At least he's a central midfielder.
Yeah.
I would rather the shittest central midfielder than 3 number 10.
Yeah. No. Yeah, 100%, because it's about balance. It's about I think what the heck is basically, I mean, we'll get but let me go to much, but what I hope Carsley and people realize is that Palmer and Foden can't be on the pitch at the same time. Choose one. And we all know what the right choice is. Matt, talk to me. Let's talk to the game.
I do have some quick thoughts on the game, but first of all, I do want to make a few corrections. First of all, Eriksson, Capello, Hodgson, and Southgate resigned. They weren't sacked. Secondly, Lampard and Gerrard failed together because they didn't have a DM. Bellingham's at his best as an 8 rather than a 10. Something else that slipped my mind, but in the meantime, I'll say there are 2 reasons England lost this. One, because the goals were easily avoidable. First goal being no one made a tackle in the box, and the second goal, nobody made a clearance when they should have. And then the other thing was just Greece had better intensity. So even if England weren't at their best, it was still a winnable game based on them, especially the first factor.
So would you looking at this game, would you put more on the blame on Lee Carsley and his formation, or the players not stepping up?
I guess.
Like no, because I know it's definitely both. It's definitely both. But where would the pendulum swing more towards?
I mean, what Carsley did, he could have done something with that, but I think from his point of view, that was a sign of complacency. And Rico Lewis was one of the worst performances, and Trent Alexander-Arnold got exposed whenever Greece went on the attack.
All right. Okay, so wait, hold on. Let me come. So Hokage, talk to me. Just brief thoughts on the game before we cook that bomb ass for Foden.
I mean, what is that formation? 4-2-4, 4-1-5. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I was living under a rock but I didn't know until 30 minutes. I didn't realize Gareth Southgate stepped away.
What?
I won't lie. I was watching. Bro, I was ready to come here and defend Southgate, but bro, it wasn't until the beginning of the stream I realized that Southgate's not the fucking manager. So I'm surprised. I don't know what a Lee Carlisle is. I'm pretty sure.
Carsley.
I'm pretty sure there's a club in the 4th tier called Carlisle United. Shout out FIFA.
Yeah, shout out to Carlisle United, man. I'm not Scunthorpe.
I remember being down in the dumps there in FIFA 13. Bum ass clubs, bro, over there. So listen, dude. I was coming on to protect Southgate. Now that this bum ass guy came in, I know people are a lot of England fans are hiding behind the excuse of, oh, it's an experiment. In whose right mind would a 4-1-5 in modern day football, even though it's Greece, would work? No one on planet Earth has played a single man midfield for the last 15 years, I think.
Bro, Germany or Brazil, Germany, Spain would 7-1 that England team out.
Oh, no, because like, okay, how do you have Palmer, Foden, Bellingham all in the same team, and you have no striker, and the only recognized midfielder who's a DM, he's not a central midfielder, he's a DM, is Declan Rice?
Yeah.
Like,
So
this
you
is
gotta put
psychotic.
Bellingham alongside Rice.
No, basically, the obvious thing is Bellingham with Rice, but so you have no other central midfielder that exists. Hate him all you want. Connor is there.
Angel
No,
Gomez.
it's not great, but Connor is there. But my thing though is that you have to have a midfield. But sorry, Hokage.
I mean, I think a lot, like, going into these last Euros for England, I was one of the guys saying I think Bellingham needs to be next to Rice. I think his first 3 months at Real Madrid has kind of skewed what people believe Bellingham is. You guys, until he went and stepped foot within the grounds of Real Madrid, this guy was a box-to-box midfielder. He's not a striker. He's not an attacking mid. This guy is box-to-box. He's been box-to-box since he was a 15-year-old kid starting for Birmingham. He was box-to-box for the 2-3 seasons he was at Dortmund. And because of the striker issue at Real Madrid, now people think he could play up top like this.
No.
And let's be honest, Bellingham is a great player, and he's been good still. But since the turn of this year, Bellingham at the beginning of his time at Real Madrid was like, 8, 9 out of 10 every game. He's been a 7 out of 6 out of 10 performer this entire year for club and country. Yeah, you have a guy trying to play. In my opinion, he needs to be next to Rice, but then you got to sort out. You got the Harry Kane situation. I think Harry Kane's on ultimate fraud watch right now. Should start Ollie Watkins. Anthony Gordon, I'm sorry, you do a job in the Premier League, but Anthony Gordon is not going to win.
What if it's talk about it?
Sorry, Anthony Gordon is not the guy you
do a job is wild. That might be worse than shift.
He doesn't.
Actually, you know what? I think I'll take doing a shift over doing a job, because a shift is that a job means that you just turned up. So
all right, a job. I think he did good in the Premier League last season. He started slow this season, but I mean, I think, bro, just go back to the Euros. It was.
Bro, job, shift. Nah, these workmen players.
No. In 95 wingers is just crazy. No, you can't continue. Okay, but like when you look at this, okay, because that's what I don't know. Manager should take all the blame, or players should take most of the blame.
Bro, I think. Now, because it's this Carlisle guy, I'm not sure yet. Under Southgate, I was under the players, which were more at fault than Southgate. Because as you said, HH, as you've been preaching for like 6 years, England, you guys are not going to play Spanish-style football. This is not you. You are a working...
More.
Okay, so for guys who don't live in England, okay, so for guys in America, what is the shopping chain below Walmart? Like the really like because I'm sure like you have like your prime shopping chain. What's like basically
Costco.
Oh, you have Costco. Wait, so is Costco American?
Yeah,
Costco's
American.
Because I think there are Costco's here as well. So basically, this is like Costco. Like wait, Money Mason, am I right?
Family Dollar.
Tesco's higher value than Costco.
Yeah, no, it's
Because Tesco's premier in England.
So then it'll be Walmart,
but let's be real, like,
Walmart.
but Tesco is below Sainsbury's though.
Costco is premier in the US.
Costco's premier. Yeah.
Costco's
So
premier.
Family
Besides,
Dollar, Dollar
I'd
General,
describe
Dollar Tree.
So no, because I'm not
Anthony
thinking,
Gordon Moore's
it's like, what would the Tesco equivalent be for America? So for guys, no guys, come on, it's not Dollar Tree. No, because like because there's also like the £1 store as well. We've got £1 store, so
yeah, Poundland. For everything in
Shout out
Poundland,
to
just
Poundland,
£1.
bro. Shout out to Poundland.
Everything in Poundland is £1. It's the best.
No, guys, wait. So, okay, can I just basically? So back in the day when I was really poor, I was struggling. But there's this shopping chain called Iceland.
Wait. Are you talking about the deal? Nah, HH, you're goated.
Basically, I'm shocked that I'm still living. Basically, I was poor. Basically, whenever we had a barbecue, there was a deal of like, I think it was like £2 for like 30 sausages. Basically, hold on. Wait,
bro, you were wheeling and dealing?
What was
Nah.
£2
No, basically, hold on. No. When you turned over the package, I think it was like 3% pork, like 90% some chemicals.
£2
Where was
for
this?
30 sausages.
Laboratory meat.
That's
No, Iceland.
Iceland. There's a
That's
grocery store
chemically
called
engineered,
Iceland.
man.
Oh man, no. Yeah, basically, it's a place called Iceland. Yes, and it's like, I know. Hey, I won't because, bro, when I was struggling, it served its purpose, but it's like the cheap of the cheap.
I don't think you deep what you just said. 30 glizzies for £2 is ridiculous.
No.
That's ridiculous.
It is. No, that's the whole point. It was
giving them away for free.
Yeah, pretty much. Like literally, it's basically like maybe it was about 20 something, but literally it was £2 and it was like literally a bag of the.
So it's thrift store meat.
Pretty much. Okay, so sorry, Hokage, continue. Continue.
Like, I was gonna speak to the Euro final. I was just saying, I think the Euro final really exposed, the Premier League and its supposed top English players because, coming into the tournament, there were plenty of English YouTubers, talking about Spain and saying, who's Fabian Ruiz? Pedri's been injured for 3 years. Obviously, they respected Roger because of the work he's doing. He's been doing in the Premier League, but then you saw in the final that your Bellingham, your Declan Rice, your Saka, your Kane, they couldn't get close to Fabian Ruiz.
Yeah.
They couldn't get close to Pedri. Zubamendi came on and they couldn't touch him. I understand they came back. England had the goal Palmer scored and they had like a 5-10 minute spell. But then Oyarzabal comes in and dunks on you. So,
no, because my thing though is, which is why people always say the manager like, Southgate was the perfect manager for England because I'm sorry,
I agree.
England are not known for playing attractive football. I cannot remember the last time England played. They're actually a very attractive. They just don't.
The problem came when he started getting the more players. Like when the team picked itself, Southgate was easily England's best option. Yeah, I've got Lingard, I've got Henderson, Ashley Young, all these brick players. Just let the team pick itself. Oh, now there's Foden, now there's Saka, now there's Rashford, now there's Bellingham and Palmer. Bro, the guy got confused in the last Euro. I honestly don't know how England made that final. Because I think it's the arrogance. Because it's like, oh my gosh, we've got Foden, or we've got Bellingham, we've got this. Surely we should win. And when it doesn't work, it's the manager's fault. Because Kane is the best striker in the world. Foden is the best English player. Palmer is the best young player. Bellingham is one of the best players in the world. So if it doesn't work, it has to be the manager. And do you know what people always miss? Club football and international football are two different beasts. So as much as the manager needs to do his job, the players have to adapt.
And you guys made the final because that's why I trusted Southgate with this team as someone who's not English, because say Graham Potter was the English manager and he tried to get this team playing football, you guys wouldn't have made that final.
No, but I still don't trust Southgate.
I think the only reason you guys made the final is because of Southgate's conservative style. Like Southgate
no
had his
way.
Like I agree, Money Mace. I think he was out of his depth when he's trying to pick between all, because there was plenty of English players on form going into the Euros. So I think you are right. He was out of his depth, but I think his fundamentally more conservative style is the reason why.
No, because Hokage. No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, go for it.
England were attacking against Netherlands.
Fundamentally, Hokage's right. Like, if you look at the previous times, this recent Euros, I'm sorry, that is the biggest fluke. Like, genuine fluke. Bro, last minute Slovenia, Switzerland, England was shit. The only good game they had the whole tournament was probably Netherlands, and that's it. Like, to play 7 games and your only good game is once, bro, pure fluke. Bro, England finished top and every other good team was on the other side of the tournament. Like, what are we doing here? Like, at least in the last Euros, England actually played well.
Okay. So my thing though is, would England benefit from being more proactive or more pragmatic?
Pragmatic, but the problem is Southgate never continued that because he ended up getting better players. When the players were trash, perfect.
So okay, with these players now, pragmatism or proactive attack, take the game to the opposition.
Pragmatism, counter-attack, in my opinion at least. But Southgate stopped doing that when he started getting all these ballers.
Okay, hold on. Let me hit some good business, man. David C. Member for 50 months. Thank you, bro. All for lives, no Meno or MBE to blame. Look, bro, put some respect on Kobe Menu. Like, Kobe Menu is England's best central midfielder, 100%. In terms of the only guy who can actually control a game, he's England's best. And he just happens to be like a prepubescent. And Annie, man, okay.
Well, okay. Wow.
Move on.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. David C. Stop it. At least. Okay. David C. Okay, you know what? No. That's a yellow. David C. That's a yellow, bro. Barry, belly goal. Only one who steps up regularly for England. Well, I wouldn't say regularly, but he is building up a clutch resume. Because remember, the Belgium equalizer, Slovenia equalizer, this equalizer, but he's building a resume of coming up clutch. Mike, England should bet Klopp.
Slovenia.
No, wait. Klopp, there's no way, there's no chance in hell. Well, Klopp is already the head of global soccer for Red Bull, and Klopp will never take the England job.
Isn't he getting like really like bad like press from the German media about it?
Well, Dortmund mainly, and also there's a clause that says if he leaves, he can become German manager. So his focus is for Germany, nothing. And shout out to Josh, my member for 20 months. Thank you for your membership. Greece didn't even have their starting striker as he was injured, and the guy who died was their starting centre back. So basically, that's Greece's B team. Rode to Wembley and cooked England from the first minutes. Look,
bro, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. How do you let Greece not just win, dominate?
No, but see, that is why we are here. Because this is England. This is the Premier League. This is all the money. This is all that kind of stuff. And this season 2004, bro. This ain't 04.
Not just that. Look at the league they're playing in. Nations League B. It's not Nations League A. It's not World Cup qualifying. It's Nations League B. And they might not get promoted because Greece have 9 points right now. If they don't get promoted out of Nations League B, what does that say?
Okay, so let's now move to our dear friend here, man.
HH, could I quickly talk on England before we...
Okay, England. Yeah. Okay, England before we...
Before we talk about England, let me just give a quick shout out to Otamendi, who scored once again for Argentina and now is beating Vinicius 7-5 in terms of international.
Oh my God in heaven. Okay, wait, hold up.
How?
Look, Vinny is going to cook tonight against Chile. We hope. We pray. He's
not playing.
He has to.
He's injured, bro. He's not in the international team this time. Like,
but I mean, he's injured. One thing I will say about England is a lot of these players, they're not even that good, man. Like Lewis, Colwell, Pickford is a crap goalkeeper, man. Like a lot of the time, like he's bang average, short, mediocre on the ball, nearly killed Virgil van Dijk. Like every single negative thing I can think about Pickford.
Casillas is short. Julian Cesar was short. So
but those were great.
England don't make the final without Pickford.
That's true.
But,
and also, did he save 2 penalties in the Euros final? And he's no. Here's the thing.
Yes, he did.
You can insult many people. You can't insult Pickford. I'm sorry, no. Every keeper makes mistakes. You can't insult. There are many players, and as I said, there are many players you can go to first before you go to Pickford.
One more thing, can we please stop?
The defense was the reason England conceded.
Yeah. Undisputed, good for Undisputed.
Yeah, I will say though, like even like guys like Anthony Gordon, they have a lot of weaknesses in this team, like left wing, for instance, central midfield. Like I don't think Mainoo's ready. They need the whole defense. They have a lot of like average players. They have a lot of good players as well, but the problem is they don't fit together well. It's kind of like in Argentina 2014 where they had Higuain, Tevez, Aguero, and it just didn't fit. I get the same feeling with England. Too many players of a similar style that just don't fit together.
Yeah, because honestly, it doesn't matter. The whole point of making the team is like, let's get all the best players in. No, what team works? What is the team that has the best balance? And even if you're this big player, I don't care. You're on the bench because of the spirit. We'll get to a certain player who should not be in this team. Like, if everybody is fit, this certain player should not be in this starting 11.
Yes. I'll leave my piece about him for later. But like one thing I will say is that people need to realize in the 2 Euros finals England played, right, against Italy and Spain, they on both times they averaged only 34% possession. So you can have your DM and Rice, you can have your attacking midfielders, and Bellingham is kind of that. But if you don't have like a Thiago, a Verratti, a Pirlo, a Modric, a Xavi,
Bellingham should be like that.
He can't. He's
That might
not
be a
like
break.
Pirlo. He's not like Pirlo, man. Like he's not like.
Well, no, not as good as
very
Pirlo, but he should be that number 8 possession box to box player.
Yeah,
problem with
but
Bellingham is that he
Matt, I mean,
takes
I
too
love
many
Bellingham. I'm a huge
He
fan.
takes way too many.
He's not in the same existence as Drea.
No, I'm not saying that he's as good as them. I'm saying he should facilitate a
He's not
similar
the
role.
same type of profile.
And also he's young, but so basically, I think that we need to see exactly what Bellingham truly is.
Profile, if we're being honest, Bellingham is kind of like Gerrard, like a final third,
Yes.
like impact player. He's not like Pirlo.
Wait, hold on. Are you calling me a box crusher?
No, he is Gerrard. He's basically a Gerrard.
No, he's not Gerrard.
Come on, let's not.
And
Bellingham's better defensively, and Gerrard has the long passes, which Bellingham doesn't have.
No, but the problem.
Gerrard's
with
more
Bellingham
attacking
is
than
that
Bellingham.
Bellingham cannot control a game. Do not play Bellingham as a controller of a game. And the thing is that he takes way too many touches to play as a deep playmaker. Way too many touches. If you watch Bellingham, there's a time when there's a simple pass to play, but then he'll end up doing like a step over with a roulette and like 2 flicks, and it's like because he wants to play like Zidane, and he's just overcomplicating the game.
The solution might just be to play Bellingham left wing instead of Gordon, because that's where he's.
What?
I mean,
hold on.
Didn't Southgate do that in the
Wait, hold on. Undisputed, go for it.
There's no solution. Like actually, this is the worst part about this England team is that there's no. I keep looking at it and I don't see a solution. They need like, who's gonna play left wing?
Can't you just play a 4-3-3 of Rice, Mainoo, Angel Gomez, someone like that, and Bellingham?
I would have Rice, Gomez, and Bellingham in a midfield 3.
Nah, Mainoo has to start.
Mainoo's not available in this international break.
No. I think Undisputed idea is like if everybody is fit, if everybody's fit, Mainoo has to be the main midfielder. So you have to have Mainoo right in that midfield. That's like
But then who starts left wing? That's the problem. Who starts left wing?
Yeah.
Anthony Gordon.
Is it only Gordon who could play?
It's
Sancho
only
Sancho has
Gordon.
to
It's
revive.
What about freakish?
No, but none of those guys are like 1v1 wingers. Only Gordon's the only
What about Sancho?
prototype winger.
Sancho?
Even Sancho, man.
J-Jock, stop smoking crack.
I can't lie. He'd work.
No. He'd work, but that's still crack use. That's still crack use, bro.
That's a brick.
No, that's not a brick. It's just use of crack. That's just use of crack. What's it called? So Elijah, talk to me about England before we cook Philip.
Man, shout out to God Save the King. Shout out to Charles III. That's my guy.
And also shout out to Zeus and Hercules.
Yeah, shout out to Percy Jackson. I forgot the author of the book, but that's one of the best.
Is that Aesop?
The movie was trash, but the book was fire. I ain't gonna lie, but
Movie
You're
was
losing to
trash.
Percy Jackson. You're losing to Percy Jackson at the crib.
At home. Like, you see, for me, like, because here's the thing. My thing, though, is, sorry, there's no excuse. If you have a team that has Palmer, Foden, and Bellingham, and you lose to Greece, and it should have been more, I'm sorry, there's no excuse. But Elijah, here's the thing, though. Before a ball was kicked, what did football Twitter say? Southgate would never pick a lineup so attacking and so adventurous and so dynamic.
He's not stupid.
Yeah, yeah, he's not a moron. Yeah, but
he's not stupid. But I'm not blaming Lee Carsley for this because at the end of the day, he's more really just an intern. He's an intern. He's not even an interim. He's an intern.
Elijah, he's an intern trying to potentially get the job, and this is his audition process.
AJ, this is Nations League B. England should be walking this group
easily.
This is not Nations League A. Nations League B. As in, like, I don't know. My thing is, I never understood why they were so bad to get relegated in the first place. But it's really disappointing that Greece gets their first goal at Wembley and gets their first dub at Wembley on the first attempt. That's very disgusting. I don't know really what is going. I don't want to overreact to this. I just feel like they just didn't show up, and that should be a disappointment, and that should be a blame should be put on the players more than, say, the manager, in my opinion. Also, R.I.P. to George.
Yes.
Tragic accident. His teammates showed out for him today, so they deserve a lot of flowers. Let's see what England does. And England, you have no choice but to get promoted to Nations League A, because we come back here and you're still in Nations League B. There's a lot of questions to be asked.
Shout out to Josh again, who says Foden only plays for England because of you know. We'll get there.
Is he wrong?
David C. Bellitomine slander. Let's not do this. Beltomine, really? Let's not. Okay, guys.
In international football, that might actually be a compliment because McTominay is that dude.
He is. Okay, so guys, let's.
I'm gonna head off, but can I correct Money Mace on something before I go?
Oh, please go for it.
Well, he mentioned something about England being on the easy side of the bracket, and that was because they won their group, and the reason they didn't have such a tough bracket was because the teams that are supposed to be there, like France, they effed up. So that's not England's fault.
No, to that I agree, but it's like every single international tournament, you somehow find whether you finish first, second, third in the Euros group, you've always found
Which I think is only England's fault if they finish second, like they did.
No. But I think the point I'm trying to get to is that how do we assess how good this England team is? Because when was the last time they beat a top team that was at the top level?
They've done it once under Southgate's reign, and that was Germany at the Euros.
But but then that's a Germany team that is still trying to figure themselves out. So whereas do they beat like a top level team that's at the top of their game? I can remember.
The Dutch count. Netherlands was good at the Euros.
But is that a Netherlands team at the top of their game? No.
I'll give them Croatia, to be fair.
You see, the question thing is Croatia. So the question was you're saying Croatia at the Euros? Yeah, Croatia at the Euros. So outside of that, you're looking at that World Cup 2018. Euros was saying Croatia, and this last Euros, it's only really been Croatia. That's a top team that they've beat at the top of the game, and also that's Croatia team. Were they really at the top of their game? Was that team really as good as the team in 2018? So
it was format packs. This was pre-2022, so they hadn't dropped off yet.
True.
Yeah, true. Okay, so look, let's talk about Prince Philip. All right, so he's a bomb. This guy's trash. Here is the reality here.
Have you seen his half turns though?
Quality. England will solve a lot by dropping Foden. Huge. Like, if Foden isn't in this team, it solves so much. Because what we're seeing from Foden is he's a talented player. He's a system merchant. The emergence of Palmer should clearly show you that, this is our number 10. the guy who should be on the ball, threading balls through and making things happen is Palmer, not Bellingham. Because I do agree. I do feel that you should give Bellingham a bit more credit than what you guys are giving him. But Bellingham is not as creative or as dynamically creative as Palmer. When I look at Foden, I say, what do you contribute to this team? And you know what's been so crazy? Again, Moneymace mentioned the English media. Why do you keep giving this guy so much grace? Guys, please tell me, when last did Foden have a great performance for England? When did he have a truly
4-1 against Iceland, 2020 or 2019? I don't remember remember the year.
But they lost to that same Iceland like 3
Senegal in the World Cup. That's probably
What?
his best performance.
AFCON winning Senegal, by the way. That's AFCON winning Senegal.
I thought Henderson was better.
Yeah. No. So basically, my thing though is we do not have. We are clutching at straws to find out Foden's quality performances. The simple issue here is Foden just doesn't fit this team, but the issue you have is your fight against the media and this is what England have to stop doing. Stop anointing certain players. Stop saying that he's the guy, he must play, boom. Let the manager just pick the best possible team. If Foden is benched or if Foden is not included, so be it. Because my thing, what is more important, Foden having to be on the team or England winning games and playing well and being much more balanced? Because I'm sorry, how many chances do you have to give this guy? He's been played in his best position. He's been played in his favorite position and he's still crap. So what excuse do you have?
You know what's the damning? It's that every time England lose, Saka's the face of it. Regardless, whether people want to say he's not the main guy, it's more of a team contribution. When he loses, he's always the face of it. When they win, it's never him. It's always Foden, Bellingham, someone else that takes all the credit. And when it comes to Foden, the way the media perceives him and the way they try to almost protect him. Sterling, you know what they said? They call him a thug just because he had a tattoo of a gun.
Of a gun, yeah.
And and they almost try to ridicule him for buying a house for his family, for his mother. With Foden, this guy gets the A1 treatment from the media. He's so protected. And the problem is he's been misprofiled his whole life. People that kept saying that this guy was this attacking creative midfielder, David Silva type of mold. He's not that. When this guy generates space, his first thought is to shoot.
Yes.
Not to
yes.
create.
Yes.
And I feel like majority of the time, people, they want to believe he's something that he's not. And the problem is with this England thing, I think England need to understand as much of a talent pool that they do have. They have one of the best talent pool in the world. They need to understand that they need to make sacrifices for things to work. Not everyone's going to be on the field. And unfortunately, I'm looking at the number 10 role. Cole Palmer at least came off the bench for England in the final, did something. He at least has that type of X factor in terms of what he can do and what he can provide for you. Even that free kick, that was super close. And Bellingham.
No, because
Bellingham is your midfielder.
See, Zimmer, it's very simple. Palmer and Foden can't be on the pitch at the same time. They can't be. You have to choose. The choice is obvious. Obviously, it's Palmer, but you cannot have Palmer and Foden on the pitch at the same time.
No, I feel like this guy is one of the most internationally protected guys, and they keep calling him youngsters. He's 24. I'm sorry, he's no longer a youngster. You can't be out going to the World Cup. He's gonna be 26. You can't be out here saying he's still learning. He's still young. I'm sorry. When all these other people get ridiculed consistently by the media, while you're out here just doing nothing. You for me, it's just
no. But because I think again, just to explain from the English media, I'm sure Moneymace will build upon this. When England latch onto someone, he just has to walk.
Do you know
like once you're chosen.
But that's the
so
problem.
Like that's so, and I know that's so for England. It's like no, he's got to walk. He's a chosen one. He's an anointed one. So we have to figure it out and work. No, he must work.
And by the way, for me, like, nobody can hide behind Southgate. I don't want to hear any of this. Southgate made us bad. We weren't playing to our best potential. No player can hide anymore. I'm sorry. I'm hearing people blaming the manager, and I get formation problems. But at the end of the day, you guys were the guys that said you wanted experimental football. You guys wanted your best players on the field, and it clearly shows that there's a lack of balance with your best players on the field. You have to find balance, and what that requires is making sacrifices. Will England be making sacrifices, or will they let another golden generation take over where it's just tribalism at the root cause of the reason why they're not succeeding?
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, let me come. Yeah, let me come to Money Mace. Talk Spain. I'll come to you Undisputed. Money Mace.
Can I speak up Undisputed?
Yeah.
The problem with Phil Foden is that Phil Foden is a long line of a reoccurring theme that England love to do, and that is pick a player, hype him up into oblivion. England have been doing this for years.
Forever.
Years.
Forever.
Do you know how many examples there are of guys like this? Jack Wilshere had one good game against Barcelona. One great game against Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets in the midfield, where he ran the show and Arsenal won 2-1. And all of a sudden, I'm hearing Jack Wilshere's the new England player, the new big thing from England. Theo Walcott was supposed to be the next coming of Thierry Henry when he came through the Southampton Academy.
Theo Walcott.
You're old enough to remember Theo Walcott being hyped as a youngster in the UCL when he ran the whole pitch against Liverpool. Again, afterwards, did nothing. This country even made everybody believe that Andy Carroll was a top prospect. Andy Carroll with his big ponytail, and he'd head it, and it's like, oh my days, he's going to be the next big thing. Do you know how many examples there are of people like this? And they're not the only ones. Like, there's so many people, there's so many players, and England have been doing this for years, where they pick somebody and they say, that's it, that's the new guy we're going to hype into oblivion and pronounce him better than the rest. I've heard it with Colton Palmer. I've heard it with flipping, what's it called? Jordan Ibe. Remember when Liverpool stole Sterling? Don't worry, we've got Jordan Ibe coming through.
We got Jordan Ibe, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many of these guys that England latch onto. And the problem is that England are the only nation that will hype up people before they've done anything. Before you've even done anything, you've got hype.
No, because it is weird, because it's a weird psychology, because like they just latch onto someone and pick someone before they've even done anything specifically on the big stage. Because my thing is, if you had just waited, it's like, oh, Cole Palmer's your guy. The guy flipping scored an amazing equalizer in a final and provided a clutch assist in the semi-final. So, Cole Palmer has already surpassed Foden's entire England career already. So if you just waited, you can now put everything on your boy Cole Palmer. I get it. His grandfather is dark-skinned and his father is mixed race. I get it. But this should be your guy.
But the problem is they're never going to wait. There always has to, at every given point in time, there has to be a savior. There has to be the next Michael Owen. There has to be the next Wayne Rooney. Yeah. Okay, you get one or two right, but that doesn't mean you do it for everybody. Cool, hype Wayne Rooney before he got good, but Wayne Rooney was always good. Wayne Rooney never was bad at any point in his career.
So, okay, so is there a way that Foden can fit into this team? That he can walk in this team?
There is no way Foden fits into this team unless you drop Palmer or Bellingham. It's as simple as that. And it's like, the sooner England realise that ultimately it doesn't matter who plays, it just matters about winning. Bro, you could get Michael from the pub, Susan from the local bakery. Who gives a shit? As long as you win the World Cup, it doesn't matter who plays. It does not matter who plays. But again, England are the only country that care about this stuff. Because I'll tell you something, HH. If England ever did win a Euros and Phil Foden was not starting, they'll somehow find a way to be upset about it. They'll find a way to be upset about it. Yeah, but we didn't win it with Phil Foden. But we didn't win it with him when he's supposed to be England's greatest ever player. And it's like, we're trying to get him better. But this country would rather Phil Foden be the star and lose in the quarterfinals than Phil Foden hold bench and win.
Yeah. No, because I think that's the key thing. Like, England must win under particular circumstances.
I don't know if you saw Mark Goldbridge after the Euro final. He was basically saying, I don't care that this team reached the finals and almost won. They didn't give as much joy to me as the 96 team, which reached the semis. I'm like, boy, you reached the final and you lost on penalties. What do you want them to do?
But you know why you like that? But you know why he likes that team? Because who's the number one star? Paul Gascoigne, who drinks a lot and he represents England and he kisses the badge and all that shit.
No. But you see, my thing though is 100%. Now he's right that the '96 team is probably the last time England actually played entertaining football, and those guys were really good. That '96 team was really, really good and played great football. But you can only do what you can with the players that you have. And I don't care what anyone says. International football leans more towards the players than the manager. This is a fact. In that '96 team, it's just fortunate that Shearer, Fowler, Anderton, Gascoigne, Sheringham, all these guys just had good chemistry. And they just were able to play together and form as a team. So that was also down to them as individuals as much as Terry Venables. But what you're seeing from these guys is you have to find what is the best formation and strategy for this group of players. Because the wrong thing is there's this assumption. There's the assumption that all because you have 5 great players doesn't mean that those 5 great players will have chemistry. So this assumption that Foden is great, Palmer is great, Bellingham is great, they'll play together. No. They may be great, but do they have chemistry? If they don't have chemistry, it doesn't matter how good they are. The most important thing to any team is chemistry. It's not how good the individuals are, it's chemistry.
Yeah. And the thing is, HH, is that football fans have kidded themselves. And I blame Pep for this, by the way. Football fans have kidded themselves into believing that in order to win, you have to do it beautifully. There's no other style of football. Counter-attacking is the devil's work.
Wait. Monimis, can you see this? Monimis, this is the problem. This right here is the problem.
This is the issue. This is it. But people complaining about
guidance.
Bro,
that's how they'll say it.
Yeah, people complaining about 96 being better, and I don't like watching this England team because they're not entertaining. I blame Pep for this shit because ever since Pep started playing beautiful football, all of a sudden, the media has been brainwashed into believing that counter-attacking and defending, it's the devil's work. Mourinho and Satan sat in a room together and created those tactics as a group. And everyone must not touch those tactics because they're despicable. And I'm like, hold on. Majority of international teams win football matches this way. I mean, Spain in the Euros final scored 2 counter-attack goals. Both of their goals were counter-attacks. When they tried to break down England, they couldn't. But when they went on the counter, they scored 2 goals and they won the match. Counter-attack is the most effective way of winning in international football. The only team that I can remember that kept 70% possession of the ball and won international trophies was the Spain team. And the Spain team had all-timers. Yeah. The best technical group of players I've ever seen in my life played in that Spain team. But because style of buzzwords like style of play and possession and patterns of play and all this crap, people kid themselves into thinking that's football when there's so many different styles and iterations of football. And Phil Foden is a product of the football that I'm talking about. Get it, touch it, half space. I look really good on the ball, but I've not done anything and I just pass it back. Look at me turning.
Okay. So, Monimis, let Pep manage this team. And remember, Pep, you can't go and spend 300 mil. You're stuck with Rice. You're stuck with the 95 winger. This is, and you can only pick English players. You can't go to the markets and just pick whoever you want in the entire world, and where money is not an issue. Pep would not work for this team because Pep needs specific players for his thing to work. Do you know why Foden looks so good? The job that Rodri does, the job that Bernardo Silva does, the job that KDB. So KDB, Rodri, Bernardo Silva puts Foden in great situations for him to drop the shoulder and shoot. Because all Foden does is drop the shoulder and shoot. And the only reason why he can do that is because Pep and the players he has creates the platform for him to do that. But those players being non-English.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's been doing that since 2017. That's how he got that under 17 World Cup best player. All he did was just drop the shoulder and shoot. That's how England won that World Cup. They just dropped the shoulder and shoot. That's all he did.
He dropped the shoulder and shoot. Like, this is Charlie Adams sort of stuff. Like, I remember Charlie Adams at Stoke. He'd get the ball, shift it, and shoot. Like, we can't sit here and act like you can build your system around this shit. Like, you're telling me you want the star player of England to not be able to create for his teammates, not be able to deliver a final pass, not be able to control a game. You want the star player of England, the center point of your creativity, to just be shift and shoot.
That should just the line. So you want your number 10, the guy that everything goes through. All he does is drop the shoulder and shoot. But Monemes, what is it like? Lampard and Gerrard. Because Gerrard was about all action attack. Lampard was known for box crashing and goal scoring. But who was the thinker, the more technical player? Paul Scholes or Michael Carrick. But you won't promote a Carrick and Scholes who are actually the more technical thinking players. You promoted the box crashers, the action guys. It goes back to the rotten mentality of how England view football and how they chastise the actual quality players they have, like a Scholes, a Joe Cole, and a Carrick, and he promotes guys who are good but are limited, like Lampard and Gerrard. Undisputed, talk to me. Okay, sorry, quick. So last thing.
Just quickly, AJ, this is why English people, no great mind has ever come out of football from England. The only one has been Bobby Robson. English people do not understand the game because what English people see is that unless you have a glaringly obvious trait, we can't see what you're good at. English players, they like when people talk about Michael Owen, they don't talk about his great finishing, his anticipation of timing the run and where to be. They always talk about, man, he was fast. You know, he always used to get in behind and run really quickly. It's like, oh, look at Gerrard. He can hit the ball really hard from 50 yards out. And it's like, oh, what's the fucking point?
Because I think
it's just physical traits.
I think the main thing here is, before focusing on Undisputed, is there are amazing players right here in England. I see them whenever I go into weather pitches. The issue isn't the talent in England. The issue are the coaches and the people who select. The coaches are not selecting the best ballers and the technical players. They're selecting particular players to do particular things. There are better players that exist, but it's just that the coaches are just bricks. Undisputed, talk to me.
I do disagree with Money Mace. Like, you have to dominate games internationally if you want to win trophies. You look at pretty much the only exception is France 2018 because they had, in my opinion, one of the best counter-attacking players ever in Mbappe and also Griezmann. Griezmann and Mbappe both enjoy counterattacks more than possession-based football. But if I look at Germany 2014, Spain 2010, even Argentina 2022, these were teams that were always on the front foot and generally just dominating games. So I understand why England fans want their team to play like that. It's just that they can't do it, which is a separate issue. But I do understand why they want to play like that. That's for Foden, a complete and total system player, a total bum in every sense of the way. This guy has no creativity whatsoever, by the way. When was the last time you saw this guy play an amazing through ball or a clever pass? Or something, special like that. He's not even a good dribbler. It's not like he's beating people all the time. He's got a nice touch. They compare him to David Silva, but what he actually reminds me of, and he's a worse version of this, right? He's like a worse version of like a Dybala or like a Mahrez or something like that.
Well, I was gonna say Marco Asensio, man, but
no, he is Marco Asensio.
Chill with the Asensio. But another thing I will say is that a lot of Guardiola players don't do well internationally in general. To be honest, KDB's not done much for Belgium. We've got Foden. Bernardo hasn't done much for Portugal. Even Messi under Guardiola went goalless at the World Cup and a Copa America. So I wonder if, like Pep, we should question this baldy because what is he doing to these players that makes them completely useless in systems of chaos?
I think it's This is why I say it's down.
You become passing robots. You don't.
No,
actually
no,
have an understanding of what
but
you
let's
do
face it.
yourself.
Don't. Pep is the last person to blame. If this is my team, I'm paid a lot of money to try and win games. So I will use whatever system I can to do that. Or if you said it is down to you as a player to adapt and tweak your game. If you're not able to adapt and to readjust your game, maybe you're not that good of a player. Because you should be able to adapt to a different environment.
Yeah, it's very, very like odd, especially. But I think in general with Foden, he has to go. I don't know if they even have the courage that much. One thing in England, right? They never hire a big manager, like a truly big manager. Maybe it's because England don't make good managers.
They hired Sven. I mean, there's a long story, but they hired Sven and Carpello, who were the biggest managers in the world at the time.
Bro, the players disrespected Capello. Bro, you had players literally saying, "I don't want to do these drills" when Capello was manager. And I'm like, hold on, Capello's won trophies that you guys haven't even been in the same building as. Like, who is Micah Richards and Glenn Johnson to tell Fabio Capello, "I'm not doing these drills"?
Look, it's wild. It's wild.
The previous.
Okay, let me ask you honestly: can Foden walk in this team? Is there a way that he can walk in this team?
No, there's not a single way possible. Palmer is better than him, like objectively in every single way. Foden's best trait is his touch, like, and his quick touch and his good technique, which Palmer's equal to. Palmer's a better goal scorer than Foden. Palmer's a better passer, way better football IQ, way better decision making, just more. Like, just in general, more involved. Like, Foden would never think of scoring the goal that Palmer did in the Euros final because he's not individualistic enough for it. And yeah, it's just Bellingham, Palmer. You might have to put a 9-to-5 winger on the side, man. I can't lie. Like, there's no other solution. There really is no other solution.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me bring in AK's not here. AK, go for it, AK.
Yeah, I mean, can you zoom into my AVI quickly? This might be fun. This is Foden for England, man.
Talk to me, man. Foden, talk to me.
Yeah, it's not looking the best. It's not looking the best if you're Philip Walter. I do think the problem with people saying it's the coach, it's the it's a coach, it's this guy, it's that guy. I saw Arda Güler at the Euros have a better tournament than Phil Foden's had his entire career. And are you going to tell me now Turkey's coach is better than England? Are you going to tell me, I don't know, Cody Gakpo, that the Netherlands coach is better than England because Cody Gakpo showed up in every international tournament?
Yeah.
Are you going to tell me, what's his name? Are you going to tell me, does Foden start for the Morocco national team?
No.
So, how come when this guy is supposedly the biggest face of English football, the biggest face of the Premier League, keep in mind, Pep doesn't even start him in City games this season.
So someone even mentioned that in the streets. He's not even starting for City.
He doesn't start for City. Savinho starts ahead of him in the right wing. So I think for me, I don't think this guy is that great of a player. I think at the very least he has a good shot, he has good playmaking, and he doesn't have good playmaking, he has a good shot. He can dribble and create separation kind of well. But overall, bro, I don't see the hype with this guy. Like, I think he's
like his main thing is he turns and shoots. Basically, his main thing is he scores goals and he's good in that little space where he can turn and shoots. Exactly. But in terms of passing, creativity, dynamism, like, he doesn't elevate a team. He's a great addition. He's not a guy that can raise the level of a team. No.
Yeah.
No.
If I'm Lee Carsley and the England lineup, bro, let alone drop Foden. Why would you select Foden in the squad? Let's be real. Let's be honest with yourself.
Impact sub?
No, even as an impact sub, bro. Be honest with you. would you pick Morgan Rogers? I would pick Morgan Rogers at Aston Villa, who's having a damn good season, over Phil Foden for the England squad.
That's what
because
I
he
say.
offers more in a counter-attacking base with his ball carrying, and he's a better number 10 than Phil Foden.
No, but the issue is, again, it's the media. There is a push that's Foden, specifically because he's currently, now, it won't be after next season, but he's currently Premier League best player. He has to play. And because the media just feel he has to play. Because my thing is that the key thing is, when does the media just be honest? All we want is honesty. This dude doesn't work for this team. Because we were scrambling to find out the amount of quality performances that this guy has had.
Yeah. I think, bro, it's sad when Vinicius has more international goals than you. That's
crazy. To even say that's crazy. I say that is crazy.
So bro, I'll be low, bro. If I'm Phil
Foden,
Foden,
so you're saying there's no way Foden fits in this team?
Because you need individuality in international football. I can trust the Palmer. Palmer can make something out of nothing, either a great quality pass or a quality finish. Bellingham, Bellingham, no matter what you say, the guy comes up clutch when you need him, whether he's playing good or whether he's playing bad. Foden doesn't do either of these things. So then what's the point of starting him, especially in that number 10 position, when he hasn't shown to be a great 8, when he hasn't shown to be a great 10, when he doesn't start for ahead of Saka in the right wing? If I'm England, I'm picking Morgan Rogers over Phil Foden. I'm picking Morgan Gibbs-White over Phil Foden. Hell, I'm putting Angel Gomez in that number 10 over Phil Foden. That's what I would say. I'm not impressed with him, and it's crazy that he gets more flat. He gets more almost praise, grace from the press compared to Isaka or Bellingham. And people keep saying coaching tax. Many players around the world have.
Because
it feels like whenever people say coaching tax, I feel like they're just looking at England just as itself. There are a lot of teams around the world who don't have great coaches. Morocco don't have a good coach. I'll tell you that now. Morocco don't have a great coach. But you still expect something of the players when they're on the pitch. And especially for a guy like Foden, I don't want to hear the coaching excuses.
And also, this is the key to be able to understand. Most international managers are not great coaches. That's one way. Most international managers are not great coaches. Scaloni, he's decent. He's not great. The players and the individuals, they're the guys that have to elevate. So, of course, the manager gives you the foundation, but someone like a Messi, Lautaro Martinez, and all these guys, they're the guys that have to elevate themselves. I keep preaching to guys, international football is more on the players than the manager. Club football is now very manager heavy. International football, the players have to take agency.
Exactly. Bro, I have nothing more to say on Foden.
Elijah, talk to me.
Well, I just got a quote from Carsley saying that he's in a way distancing himself from the full-time job in terms of being the senior manager.
After they pretty much breaked it. So
yeah, so I'm not surprised on that. My thing with Foden is he's lived off of that hype since 2017. He was the star of that under-17 World Cup team that won it. Him and Ryan Brewster. Where's Ryan Brewster?
And also, let's just put it. He was, because I think I watched the semi and the final. He was good. He was good. You see, that's the thing. Foden, it's weird. He is a talented player.
Yes.
But not. You can have a talented player that doesn't fit into a team.
Of course,
it may seem hard, but it happens. He's a talented player, but that's you're a talented player, part of a very talented group. And unfortunately, you simply can't make the sacrifices to fit into this team because Cole Palmer is too good of a player to sacrifice. So as long as Cole Palmer is this good, playing this well, you can't fit into this team.
Yeah. And it's that, and then also I think the thing with what people need to understand, especially in this era of social media, hype is not what wins you trophies. Can we get that out the way, please? Yes, Foden is talented. He's fantastic, but for a style of play that one specific manager may need, he's not going to fit it. And that goes for every player. Every player is talented, but not every player can fit a team. And in my opinion, Foden does not fit this team. I'm sorry. And that's okay. He's had a good run. Just go back in the club game and just fix what you need to fix.
But let me ask you this though. Do you think a manager will be brave enough to drop Foden? So to basically to go against the media, the media, because Carsley's not going to get the job. So whatever manager comes, let's say it's Potter, do you think there's going to be a manager who comes in and says, nah, Foden, you're dropped? Or do you think that they will take it upon themselves due to media pressure to try to fit Foden into this team?
The media does play a role, and I always have a feeling that the media does play a role to England's success and failures. I don't know what Potter would do, but because of the pressure of the media, the next England manager has no choice but to stick with the guy the media chooses. That's how powerful the media is in the British Isles, is that we have a say, and if you don't stick to what we say, we could spin a narrative in which the masses can now become national enemy number one.
But now, this is risky. I come into the job, I drop Foden, but I win and I play well. But the key thing is that I win. You see, the key thing that happens is that if you win, I'm sorry, nobody can say anything. But so the problem arises is that if you drop Foden and you lose, that's where you're now stuck. But hold up. Actually, if you drop Foden and you win, what can the media say? They can't say anything.
But the thing is, Southgate has been winning. It's the same thing with Bobby Robson. He's winning. He may have some slip-ups here and there, but England's getting to World Cup semis, finishing fourth, Euro semis. They may get grouped, but he's winning, and the English media still had something against him. Southgate, you get to 2 Euro finals. You finish fourth in the World Cup. You get to the quarters of a World Cup. You're right now the third best team ranked in UEFA. You're a top 5 team in the world. And he still gets criticized for it. This is not a football job. I think Encore said it best. The England job is not a football job. It is a PR and HR, human resources job.
No, because I think, again, speaking from experience, living in England I get that football is big around the world. This is a religion in this country. It's literally life and death. I know that in South America it's much, but football is literally the lifeblood of this country. So literally the most scrutinized, the most pressurized job, I think, in sports is the England football manager. And specifically for people who let's look at celebrities. Celebrities have spoken about England tabloids amongst the most rabid and wild on the planet.
Yeah.
So the amount of pressure you have to deal with is insane. So it isn't just about football. It's about pressure. It's about the media. Bro, when Sven was manager, they got pictures of his girlfriend, him on holiday. The guys were hiding in bushes taking photos of him because and people love to read this stuff. So you have to, but I think that the key thing is what England need is a strong manager who has a strong personality. Because now it may be too late. Mourinho.
I don't. The job was there per se early to.
Oh no! I think I say now it's different. But someone like a Mourinho, that is the kind of guy that will work, because someone with a very strong personality who can take on the media, is savvy enough to take on the media, and understands how to do good in international football. So you need a particular kind of a personality. So
of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. If we were in 2007, that job makes sense for Mourinho. After he leaves Chelsea, that job makes perfect sense. But at this rate right now, it's even said in England itself, the second most complicated job after being the prime minister is the England manager. That's how complex it is.
So shout out to Josh, who says, Foden is like a betting app. You invest all money, love, attention, effort, passion, but 90% of the time you get nothing back and endless pain. Hashtag. Okay. Look, and this is my thing. Don't invest all your chips onto any player unless it's a Neymar, a Messi, or a Hazard. Unless it's a truly special player, it is unadvisable, especially when the players don't achieve anything. So before Foden even achieved anything, You see, with Rooney, we knew he was special with what he was doing at 16. No matter how good Foden was in under 17, Foden wasn't Rooney. So you knew that Rooney, this is a special player based on just how developed he is as a 16-year-old. That was the same for this dude. But let's say, are we saying Pantry will be the next England victim?
He'd have to have either a stinker or a very cataclysmic.
No, but I think he's too talented to fall victim to that. Like, he'll have bad games, but I think Palmer and like Bellingham, these are very special players, and I think that Palmer and Bellingham, they've got the personality, I think, to cope with the pressure. I believe. Fair. England football history is fraudulent. The World Cup they won has video footage of them scoring a goal that didn't cross the line in the final. But do you know what I always say about England is like, do you know that they've won one major trophy in the entire history?
Yeah.
So when I say that Southgate got you to 2 finals and a World Cup semi, and the way you vilified him, the way you abused him, the way you insulted him, I'm like, how disrespectful or how arrogant can you be? You have zero football heritage. You see, a Brazil manager who doesn't win a World Cup or get to a World Cup semi, you're criticized based on your rich history.
Look at what they're doing to Dorival right now.
And Elijah, just for me so, because this is the house that's Pele built. This is literally one of the great dynasties in sports history. So there's a huge demand. I think Germany might be the best performing international team in the world in terms of how well they do in the World Cup and the Euros throughout history. So there's a pressure. England, before 2018, the last time you were in a semi-final of a major tournament was in 1990. 1990, before 2018. Southgate got you to 2 finals, and I'm sorry, Elijah, I'll keep it real. I know what happened to them was bad, and of course it was wrong. 3 guys missed penalties. That's what's on Southgate. Yes, you just have to do that, but I'm sorry. Score your damn penalty. Your captain, your main talisman, had 1 shot on target in 2 finals. Yep. In 2 finals. And I'm sorry, when it comes to a final, it's not about tactics. It's not about strategy. It's about gid. So my thing, though, is that for England, take stock and realize that you do realize that you've won 1 major freaking trophy in your entire history. RJ, member for 29, Messi, Elijah.
Look, shout out to Inter Miami. So the next, I think it's this weekend. If they win this weekend, they'll set the all-time points record for the MLS in terms of standings. My thing is just win the whole thing, because HH, we're gonna have a hangout if Messi does the double. I'm just saying.
Okay, English fans think they have a manager like Lippi ready to take over the Premier League's biggest strength is England's biggest issue. They have no identity. You see, and I think I said this on my video, so that you know that. Now, Streets, talk to me. Did Bobby Robson win the league with Barcelona?
Hold on.
That's what I want to do, because no English manager has won the Premier League. I want to know whether an English manager has won, like in the last, since like the 92, has won like so since 1992, since the Premier League started, has an English manager won a league title? Because obviously I know Division 1, but since 1992.
He only won Copa del Rey, Super Copa, and Cup Winners' Cup, but he didn't win the league. He came close.
He didn't win. You see, and the issue you have here is, okay, you want to go English, fine. And I'm one of those guys that feels that international football, you should pick a manager from your own country. But the issue you have here is whether it's Eddie Howe or it's Graham Potter, there is not a single English manager you can name that is world class. Now, here's the thing: you don't need a world class manager in international football. You don't. But the issue you have here is, and the positive, obviously, like in Spain and Germany, is England don't produce quality coaches or quality managers. They just don't. Like, how many top teams in top leagues have an English manager or an English coach?
I think it's been that way since the 90s, HS. This is nothing new. Like, the fact that England doesn't make like a churning factory of managers. Scotland makes better managers than England. And England's not going to hire a Scottishman.
No, that will never happen. Although they'll do better. I was fair. Most Italian players are used to playing back threes with wing backs or play with Italian managers with a similar philosophy. This is the dub of the Knights.
Yes.
This is the dub of the Knights. So with Germany, so let's say you have with Germany, there's a through line. Because you've got German managers with a German viewpoint, when German players congregate, German manager, we understand. Italy, perfect example. Most Italian managers, when we now come into the Italian team, we now understand the Italian way of playing. Foden, that is a Spanish manager. Bellingham, that is an Italian manager. Palmer, that's an Italian manager. Saka, Spanish manager. So all these guys have a Spanish ideology, Italian ideology, other ideology. So once they now come together as one, what is the kind of through line that we can pick through, and which is problematic?
It's so weird because you could even say in the 2000s teams, there's guys that had different managers, but when they came together, they actually, worked as a team per se. But with this team, I think Southgate leaving has exposed England even more in a bad way, in a way where that now you don't have Southgate, a guy who actually gave you an actual mentality and a style of actually knowing how to play. But the fact that he's not there, you guys are left in the middle of nowhere.
No, because here's the thing, and then we'll sort of like end this here, is the safest tactic, the most foolproof tactic to have is a pragmatic tactic. Yes. Hard to break down, execute. When you now complicate things by 4-1-1, attack things, then do you have the chemistry? Do the players come together? And that is a lot more risky because remember, you don't have as much time to form a complicated offensive tactic. Because we only meet 3 times a year, something that is safer is being pragmatic. England can't do what Spain do. You just can't. Because you just don't have players you don't have the amount of players of a technical quality that can do. Because yes, you have a Kobe Mainoo, but when you now compare Rice to Zubimendi or Rice to Rodri, there's a far gap in technical ability.
Completely different. I mean, Kobe Mainoo is one of those gems. Like he's just one of those like once in a few years, maybe once in a decade type of player. My thing is he's young, so this idea of consistently trying to play him in the national team, let him build physically. Don't just throw him into the fire. Like I say the same thing with your mom. Don't just throw him into the fire because you know he's good, you know he's talented, you know he's skilled, but let him build physically to be a man, to be able to take on the senior game. That's my thing. We don't have to preserve.
Guys, it's been swell. I will see you guys on the weekend, guys. See you guys on weekend. One love. Peace.